Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post.
Hey, happy Monday, Facebook family, and welcome to another episode of Post Daily Dose. With me, your trusted parenting advisor, faithful guide, and servant on the healing journey. What's my name? Big Papa Brian+Post. Hope you all are doing amazing on Monday. I am in Santa Rosa, and when you're out in public, you're supposed to be wearing your mask. But I'm in the fresh air, and good Lord knows that the germ's going to just fly right past me because I'm covered in blood. So I thought I'd hop on here really early and knock out this daily dose with you guys, chop it up real quick because I got to walk across the street and chop it up with some parents. When I got off the plane, I had a text from one of my favorite parents, Leslie, and Leslie was telling me she was frustrated with her kiddos. Leslie's got about, 4 or 5 adopted kids, all under the ages of, I think, 8 years old, so little people. And hello there, Mimi. Hello, Tammy, and hello, Lisa. And so she said she's been really frustrated because the kids have just completely stopped doing their chores, and she needs help because, it's a lot of kids, and she needs help. And so she's like, what do I do? So here's my thought about that, because I know a lot of you struggle with chore challenges. And here's the thing about chores. Number one, chores have to be equivalent to your child's emotional age. Okay, so think about chores. Number one, being equivalent to your child's emotional age. So if you're asking your 5-year-old to do these chores that a 2-year-old would have a problem with, then you're going to have a problem. Number two, so lower the emotional age, lower the expectation according to the emotional age. Number two, you have to understand that when you are giving children chores, your young children, even sometimes your teenagers, you are going through a process of teaching. So they are having to learn. I mean, the whole point of chores, because we don't live in the agricultural age any longer. We don't grow up on farms. Some of us still do, but most of us aren't growing up on farms, and we're not having children to help with the cows and with the sheep and with the goats and with the chickens. We just have our kids, and we want to teach them, how to be responsible, and we want to teach them to pick up after themselves and do all the things necessary that they're going to need to have when they become adults. So the point of chores is really about teaching. So this is where it gets challenging, because we all have these preconceived notions about what it is we're supposed to, our expectations of children in chores. Chores is a real source of frustration because we have these blueprints based on the way we were raised about chores getting done and chores not getting done, and then we get really frustrated with it, and then we really forget that the whole point of chores is to teach your children how to be able to do things. So here's what you have to understand. Just like I said, you have to set the chores according to the emotional age. And it is a beautiful Santa Rosa day. It is just amazing. I think it's about 85 degrees, 90 degrees, fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful day. So just as I said, you have to set the emotional expectation to the chores based on the emotional age. What you also have to do is you have to think about what causes your child to regress. Because remember, when you stress, you regress. So when you stress, you drop down to a lower emotional age. So if you're setting the chores according to your child's emotional age, you have to also think, what is it that's causing your child to become stressed and to have a very small window of tolerance? Because the smaller their window of tolerance, the less capability and capacity they're going to have for the chore. So this becomes really important. So as a super responsible parent, what your children have to understand is, look, we have chores that got to get done, and no one likes to do chores. It's a very frustrating thing. Sit down with your kids in the living room. I don't like doing chores, But if dad doesn't do chores, what happens? If mom doesn't do chores, what happens? So you go through the whole spiel, and then you say, look, sometimes you just get too stressed out to do your chores. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you do your chores. I'm not going to do them all for you, but I'm going to help you because I know sometimes we just get too stressed out and we just get too tired. But here's the thing. When I know you're that stressed, then we can't be doing video games. And we can't be eating too much junk food. And we can't be staying up watching TV at all hours of the day. Because then I'm setting you up for failure all the way around. So when I see how stressed you are by your inability to do your chores, and let me reevaluate these chores, let me make sure, the way Big Papa says, that I'm actually setting them according to your emotional age, because I want to not make sure you don't get too overwhelmed. So I want to make sure I do that. But after I do that, I need you to do something very important for me. When it's chore time, if you feel too stressed, if you feel too overwhelmed, I need you to tell me that you are stressed and overwhelmed, and I will help you. Because otherwise, you're sending me a signal, and as a caring and loving parent, I've got to minimize all the rest of your stress. Because if I don't minimize all the rest of your stress, then I'm setting you up for failure. You'll never be able to learn how to do your chores effectively, so we'll start minimizing stress all the way around. So maybe tomorrow, we'll just start out by minimizing stress right up front. So instead of having an hour on electronics, we're going to drop it all the way down to 30 minutes on electronics. Instead of playing outside for 2 hours, we're going to play outside for an hour. Instead of going to bed at 9 o'clock, we're going to go to bed at 8 o'clock. Instead of having 2 scoops of ice cream, we're going to have 1 scoop of ice cream. Because I got to do everything I possibly can to help lower your stress, to strengthen your window of tolerance so you're able to get those chores done. Because I love you, I'm concerned about you, I want you to be successful. Do you understand? No. Has nothing to do with you being a bad child. It has everything to do with me having to take the time to teach you how to be responsible. No, you're not in trouble. But if I let you watch too much TV, or if I let you have too much electronics, or if I let you play with toys for too long, and you don't have to do any of that stuff, we can just sit together. See, when we sit together, then you feel better, and your window of tolerance grows, and then you'll be more effective and able to go do your chores. Now, you get what I'm saying? Make the investment to teach. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Make sure the chore is set according to the child's emotional age. Make sure the child understands that the only time they don't do their chore effectively is when their window of tolerance is too small. Make sure the child understands that when their window of tolerance is too small, then you as the parent have to take responsibility to help restore the window of tolerance. And that may not look like the most enjoyable, pleasurable thing in the world, but you're doing what you need to do as an amazing parent. Thank you, Jason Shackelford, for dropping those 100 stars on me. So I hope that's helpful for you guys. I got to get on in here, do a little bit of work. Big Papa loves you. Remember, in any given situation, in any given moment, we always have 2 choices. We can continue to react from our same blueprints of stress, fear, and overwhelm, or we can stop, we can slow down, take 3 to 10 deep breaths, and choose love. And I hope you choose love in every possible moment. God bless you. Big Papa loves you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.